This video is powered by patrons. See the link in the description and learn how you can support videos like this. Wilson Fisk, nearing his 50th year, just wants to be left alone. He has built something he considers safe, stable, an enterprise that helps the city and its people in all sorts of ways. He knows huge chunks of his empire are not legal, but for Wilson Fisk, the ends always justify the means. And for Wilson, the ends are what makes New York great. And for 8 years, he has had to fight to keep it that way. Wilson Fisk would have it all if it wasn't for Spider-Man. And today, Spider-Man is here with swathes of New York cops to take Fisk down. And this time, he might succeed. But Wilson won't go down without a fight. The Kingpin is prepared. I'm ThePatientWolf, and I'm a video game storyteller. I tell stories in many video game worlds. And currently, I'm travelling through the world of Spider-Man, finding tales to tell for you. If you haven't, make sure to subscribe. If you do, remember to like. And if you would like to support this work and get to watch the next video in this series, the story of Tombstone, head over to Patreon, where patrons get to watch my videos months in advance and ad-free. Head over to this link to see what you could be watching after this video. I'm ThePatientWolf, and you're watching the story of Wilson Fisk. Wilson had always felt on top of the world in Fisk Tower, a monument he built to himself, his empire, a reflection of the work it has taken to get here. There are many things and factors that have driven him to this success. Not all he could or would want to tell you himself, but legacy would have to be up there. To leave his name and his empire behind for the world to know that he made this. As he sits and waits for Spider-Man, in his enormous penthouse office, lined with the finer things, grand statues and the Japanese art that meant so much to him, he fears for this legacy. But he's done everything he can to protect it. Everything's in place. All he can do is wait. He has his loyal armed men fending off the police presence.
Fisk has a lot of guys on his payroll.
He has men trying to wipe data servers to limit what they can pin on him.
We need that evidence if we want to put him away for good.
After all these years, you're still just an ignorant child. Get past him.
He has armed the building with explosives to deter those from entering. He knew they would send bomb disposal, so he made sure many among them were suitably bribed. He hoped all that would be enough. But still, Spider-Man is here. He hated him so much. All Fisk wants to do is build. Spider-Man just wants to tear it down.
Look around you. I did this. What have you ever done that matters?
Spider-Man gets past all of this, but Fisk has a final failsafe.
I'm surprised you made it this far, but your foolishness ends now. 8 years of this insolence.
He is finally rid of Spider-Man.
How is this happening?
Fisk has always managed to get the upper hand. Eventually, over the years, ever since Spider-Man was 15, he'd nearly put a stop to his nemesis many times, cut him with a katana, knocked him out with knuckle dusters, but he'd never needed weapons. Just like he has devoted his mind to mental excellence, he had done the same with his body. Don't be fooled. This was all muscle. It was time to break Spider-Man.
I'm the one who kept order in this city! In 1 month you wish you had me back! Idiot!
It's difficult for a man who thinks of everything to deal with such short-sighted people. He knew the lengths he went to keep the city as he liked, as its citizens liked. Not one thing was done in this city without Fisk knowing about it and giving its okay. Anyone that stepped out of line was dealt with. Drama, conflict meant disruption of business, stopping the flow of money, and he would not have that. He had everything running like clockwork.
Boss runs a tight ship. He does not like screw-ups. We get paid well because we deliver. Every time, on time. Got it?
As he is transferred to the Raft prison facility, he knows what will happen next. The assets he can't prove are legitimate will be seized. The petty crime gangs his word of law has kept at bay will start to come out of the woodwork. And the next pretender to the city's crown will look to take control. That will keep Spider-Man busy.
What's that feeling? Do I miss him? No.
Let me explain something to you about crime bosses. Soon as one goes down, every punk with a gun, a tracksuit, and a drawer full of gold chains decides he's the next godfather. We're gonna have a gang war in the streets, but does that whip-headed moron give a damn? Of course not.
Fisk knew he would have to relinquish some control when this happened. Time for the powers that be to appreciate what he did for the city. But he's not lost everything. He still has mounds of cash and guns hidden away in elaborate hiding places. Many secret vaults and doors and hatches, hiding what he needs to get out of this predicament. He had a plan for that. What he couldn't plan for is the demons. The army controlled by Martin Lee. He can understand power sought to make money, to control business, but Martin Lee only sought revenge. They have weapons far beyond the ones he can muster, with that sumptuous, negative energy. He does everything he can to protect what's his.
Boss may be in lockup, but that don't mean his hardware's up for grabs.
And if they set one toe inside the vault, I'll have your head.
Got it, boss. Tripling security.
They did. And they cleared out the armories and the cash silos to fund their own cause. Much later, the power that would replace the demons, the underground, would also unlock his secrets and clear out the cash he had put by. They would even use his tower as their power base, defacing it, disrespecting it. They hadn't earned it.
I had secrets and trapdoors all over this place. We cracked them all. We own Fisk Tower now.
Taking inventory of what he has left, he makes a new plan to get out of this predicament. He has his properties. He has his construction business, all squeaky clean and above board. He has his art he used to launder money with. Begrudgingly, these could be sold. Rose Roseman helped him in this laundering enterprise, but she also helped him attain the pieces of Japanese art that meant so much to him.
Mr. Fisk has exceptional taste.
It was in this meaning that he understood his role in the city and reinforced his beliefs in who he needed to be.
Bet Fisk saw himself in this, a great man willing to do what others wouldn't.
Business has always been about conflict to Fisk. Adversarial, him against any other that would look to oppose him or better him. He would crush them all, but he would do it silently, out of the spotlight as much as he could. This art echoed all of that.
Destruction screams, but creation toils in silence.
He hates to see them go, but they would fetch a good price. But he needs more. His undeclared revenue streams need to continue.
I think I figured out how Fisk's men are keeping his rackets running. Construction sites.
Throughout the city, Fisk's building developments are the perfect place to store inventory and conduct deals, boarded up from the public. Plenty of places to hide product. Fisk could continue dealing drugs, laundering, weapons.
My sources say they're running exotic weapons out of that location. Explosives, rocket launchers.
Fisk does manage to get stuff you don't see outside the military.
That needs to stay off the streets, by any means necessary.
The police captain, Yuri Watanabe, and Spider-Man had worked so hard, for so many months, in gathering the evidence needed to take down Wilson Fisk. They had their man. They saved the data, the damning evidence they needed from being wiped. But they knew slapping the handcuffs on Fisk would not be the end. He would use his money and power to subvert justice. They track down the sites and face up against Fisk's well-paid and loyal men.
This is for the boss! Anyone want to surrender? No?
Each site, each deal, every ounce of illegal inventory is shut down.
That's one more revenue stream Wilson Fisk can't use to pay his lawyers.
In a call from Raft, Fisk concedes.
I trust you've enjoyed yourself. I have other sources of revenue, but you've inconvenienced me, and there will be consequences. My memory's long. My reach is longer.
Fisk does of course have other sources of revenue, but this is more than an inconvenience. Between this, the demons, his empire is crumbling. He needs to get back out there, out of Raft. Over the next few days, he would do everything he can to do this. But Spider-Man is there to block him at every turn. He deploys his men to track down the evidence and destroy it. They tracked it down, but Spider-Man was there to save it again.
Nap time.
Wilson Fisk declined the opportunity previously to break free from the Raft. He felt that if he was going to maintain his innocence and be free to continue his business ventures, his best bet was to get the best and most underhand lawyers money could buy. But that ship is sailing away. He needed to prepare his men. Spider-Man would unravel that plan before it could be enacted.
Guns, prison guard uniforms, and spoofed ID cards. They were planning to bust Fisk out of the Raft.
Fisk was out of ideas for now. Weeks and months would drip by. The city would move on, and he just had to make the best of it. Keep what revenue streams he could open, keep his men on the street chipping away, and use his influence to keep what luxuries he could.
You all remember Wilson Fisk, don't you? The so-called Kingpin of crime? I'm told he's getting 5-star treatment in his cell.
He stayed in touch with the goings-on in the city. It wasn't allowed, but he had direct access to all his generals. And when he heard the news that Spider-Man was taking a leave of absence from New York, it was time for him to make a foothold in the city once more. Others were doing it. Roxxon was buying up property in Harlem for its new energy plant. There were bargains to be had and markets to be made.
Boss knows an opportunity when he sees one.
He would do what he could to drive down property prices.
You hear the boss wants to shut down Feast?
Corrupting the water supply and having the place condemned. And when the land is bought, he'll build.
Apartments, maybe. Office space. Gonna run drugs out of them? Probably. Good way to make money quick.
Not in my neighborhood, it's not.
The other Spider-Man. In all his planning, he did not factor in the other Spider-Man. Not only does the other Spider-Man stop the plan,
What is this?
but he takes out the comms that allow Fisk to pull the strings and keep his empire afloat. Fisk knows it's the end for now, but he still has men, and he will use them to get back at Harlem Spider-Man.
You're done in my neighborhood.
Your neighborhood? How touching.
It's not the real one, but it will be a catharsis to end a Spider-Man nonetheless.
You'll learn that when you cross me, the people you want to protect are the ones who suffer.
This would be Fisk's last act in New York for a while.
Didn't you hear? Spider-Man's looking out for Harlem.
Wilson Fisk would need to bide his time once more, regroup with his thoughts, and make another plan in the hope that he can take his place as the Kingpin once more, with his towers, his art, maybe even some human connection. But in his cell in Raft, no more comms with his men, and less luxuries to soften this hard time.
I checked with Wilson Fisk's parole officer, who confirmed the big guy is under tighter security and will likely get some time tacked onto his prison sentence.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see the next video in the series, the story of Tombstone, head over to Patreon to watch exclusively and ad-free right now. If not, make sure to subscribe and hit notifications to be nudged when it arrives on YouTube. Like this video for the algorithm, and see other links in the description of videos you'll enjoy, like the stories of Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Thank you to all of you on the screen now for powering videos like this. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this has been the story of Wilson Fisk.